I graduated high school in '91 and graduated here in 1995.
This is a long answer, but I'll give it to you anyway. I was born in Morgantown when my parents they were wrapping up. My mom was wrapping up nursing school and my father was finishing up dental school. So the university is kind of multi-generational in my family, and it's always been a big source of pride. My family is always, from my parents all the way down, have been West Virginians, and so the state and the university are a source of great pride for us. And we also, with that, are kind of used to the idea that a lot of other people have misconceptions about the university. And so it's always been kind of in the back of our minds that everything that we do as a family, that's me and my brother and my wife and her family and her brother and all of us that have some connection to the university, that part of what we've done has been to better ourselves. But it's always in the back of our mind that we're also representatives of the state and the university. And that's always been important to us, that by demonstrating that we've been successful and productive contributors to society, that we've reflected well upon the university. And to take that even further, that was always important to me in my professional life as a broadcaster, and even more so now as an employee of the university. I just feel like I've got so many different reasons to have a strong investment in the university. It's my employer, it's my alma mater, and it's my home state's flagship university. Freshman year I was in Arnold on the honors floor, and then let me think if I can remember what all the addresses were. Lorenz Avenue my sophomore year, Fife Street my junior year, and Stewart Street my senior year. Yeah, different house every year.
So looking back now, how has that area evolved over time? Changed?
You know what? A lot of those places haven't, and all four of those locations, from the dorm to the place that I lived on Stewart, those houses are still there. I was surprised that, and they probably haven't changed much, although as somebody who has grown up and lived somewhere other than student housing, I was amazed that I looked back at those places, and when I was living there, I thought they were amazing places. And obviously they're just student housing. I mean, they're not terrible, but they're not the palaces that I thought they were back. And I never lived on or spent a whole lot of time in Sunnyside. But if you want to talk about something that's changed radically, that is astonishing. I think to a degree when you're a student, it doesn't feel as bad as it does when you're a graduate. I'm a parent now, so it feels a little more worrisome. Honestly, I think the thing that's different, that's become more of a stigma for the university, happened after I was gone, and that's the whole couch burning meme. The scariest thing about the party image was that people were coming in from off campus for the Sunnyside blowouts, and people were getting shot or people were getting hurt. And a lot of times that stuff was happening with people that did not attend the school. As a journalist, as a working journalist, it was something that it caused me a lot of pain to report on it, but I felt that it was necessary. I mean, obviously it's necessary to tell the story as true as it is. There were a lot of things that happened at the university. There was a scandal involving the master's, MBA program. There were all of the fires. There was the transition to the Big 12, which was controversial. There was the departure of Rich Rodriguez. These were all things that reflected negatively upon the university that were hard to report on. As a reporter, though, it's your job to do it. I would say first and foremost, the thing is you can't ignore that problem exists. And the other part of that is you can't, even if it's not our students doing it, or if it is our students doing it regardless, you have to look at what the perception is. For a while, we had dropped out of the top 10, but anywhere I would go when I would say I went to WVU, they would say, oh, number one party school in the nation. I think at that point we were in 12th or whatever on those rankings. So there's not a whole lot you can do about them. You can't ignore it, but at the same time, you can't spend a whole lot of effort on trying to combat it because it's there. So I think the best thing the university can do is continue to play to our strengths and showcase and elevate within the communications that we can control, such as the publications that we put out, or the public service announcements that we do, or just anytime any of us go out and represent as individuals. It kind of goes back to what I started with, is just to be the best person that we can be, and be proud of what we do, and understand that even though that this stigma exists out there, that's not me. And it's a slow process, but I think it's a lot more genuine than trying to go out and go, we don't have parties, we don't have, it's not honest. And it's the image that we've got, and the best thing we can do, as an institution, is to acknowledge it and continue to play to our strengths. Some people have argued that's one of our strengths, and I think that's a risky strategy. It's one of those ones that some people play fantasy football, and I do I play a lot of fantasy ad campaigning, and I thought, is there a way we can include that as one of our strengths? I don't know how you do it because it's so controversial.
Right.
But I've talked to professors who have said that they've had very high-ranking students who came here for both the academics and the social fun. So obviously, I know one of the references for this project is the I'm Schmack video. I don't see anything particularly redeeming in that for the university, but the fact that we have a good time and we've got great athletics and it's a fun place to be isn't necessarily a bad thing.